looking to make it 2 wins from 2 in the Premier League. I should add 3 wins across all competitions as they travel to Crystal Palace. So please keep all your comments, all your questions, Manchester United, Chelsea, or Tottenham Hotspur related, please, people. Make sure you run up the likes as well. Make sure you do that. Whether you're watching this live right now or watching this back after the live, hit the like button on the video. Make sure you share this across all the socials as well. At That's Me Flawless, at Sarcasm City TV across all socials. And on top of those 2 things, make sure you subscribe to the channel, Sarcasm City TV. And when you subscribe, make sure you hit the notification bell as well. We are joined by a couple of special guests. But before I get to the special guests, let me introduce the Spurs regular here. My bro in the building. I think he's in the building. Anyway, Jez, what are you telling me, family? You good?
Yeah, man. What you saying, bro?
Oh, bless, all bless, all bless. I'm saying, so we got Jez in the building. First guest I'm going to introduce is someone who there's never a dull moment with him on stream. That's what I will say. I have never, ever watched a live stream with him, whether it's him on his own channel, whether he's a panelist elsewhere. He's been on here before. I've been fortunate enough to be on his panel as well. You never know at any moment what he's going to say. You know what I'm saying? You never know, like, and he will give his opinion. Kind of like Family Guy, for those that have watched it. You know, when they do the cutscenes and you have no idea where the joke's gonna go and you have no idea what is going on. It's kind of like that. So, welcome to the show. My like Jacob is in the building. Yes, Jacob,
hey.
What are you telling me, man? What are you saying?
Hey, what's going on? Long time no chat. Long time
it's been a minute.
No see the city. What a beautiful, blessed day I'm having to be guesting here with my man Jez, Flawless in the city of sarcasm. If people are confused, they're probably like, what's going on? I was going to do a little quick match preview, unable to do it. So instead of trying to hurry myself, I just figured I'll guest here and I'll let everyone else on my channel see that. But make sure you subscribe to Sarcasm City TV. It isn't the description of the video. It's going to be in the title, so make sure you are subscribed. But Flawless, thank you for having me on. And you know what? To be in any comparison to Family Guy, I think that
definitely a compliment.
Like that.
100%. Like that if I compared you to a bad show, it's a problem, and that's why you're here. I don't have guests here that I don't rate. You know what I'm saying? That's why I said it. And obviously there was a lot spoken about.
That's why Jez is a regular.
This is why Jez is a regular. As much as I can't stand him as an individual, top content. So that's why he's here for real. And obviously after the North London Derby defeat, you was in the chat, and I was gonna get you one anyway. So I was like, I definitely want to hear Jacob's thoughts and everything that is going on at Spurs. The second special guest, people, needs no introduction. But I'm gonna give him the introduction anyway that is thoroughly deserved. One of the best content creators out there. I've said it. I think the most underrated content creator out here, without doubt. When we talking Chelsea content creators on Mount Rushmore, if he's not the first name on the list of your Mount Rushmore, you're doing it wrong. Simple as that, people. I'm not hearing anything else. Go welcome my like carefree Lewis G into the building. Yes, family. What are you saying?
Oh, man? Wow.
Cheers. Big up, everyone. It's good to be back, man. I appreciate the intro.
Big up.
Big up,
straighten up the room real quick. Hang on.
Yeah, man. It's always only
it's
right.
Okay, I'll come in peace for now. I'll come in peace. Like we got a common enemy this weekend. The fucking bubble blowing bastards. Straight into them.
I didn't know if you were saying West Ham or you were saying Arsenal, but yeah, big up everyone.
We got 2 enemies.
2 enemies. There we go, innit? I don't mind West Ham, but yeah, fuck Arsenal. That's what I say. But run up the likes, people. Run up the likes. Hit the subscribe button. Make sure you subscribe to Carefree Lewis G. Make sure you subscribe to United Spurs of America as well. Can one of the mods be kind enough to put it in the chat? Big up everyone that's locked in, man. I see you lot already. Big up Chic TV. Big up Kingsman. A Solomon. I see you. Anderson. Benito. Fifth Elemental, Phil P as well, Matty, I see you, my nephew in the chat as well. Big up to everyone that is locked in. And Lewis said it here, best smash the likes, man. Them. Don't be a Martinelli, facts. Don't be a Martinelli. Run up the damn likes, people. Run up the damn likes. You already know, man. Bring you the best special guest, people, right before the weekend of football starts. But we'll start with Chelsea, Lewis. Win against Bournemouth. Not the best performance. Got the 3 points though. West Ham, early kickoff. You confident going into the game? And what would you want to be the forward? What would you want the forward line to be? Because that seems to be the conversation. Is it Jackson? Is it Nkunku? Should Sancho start? Is it the same? What do you reckon?
So when it comes to West Ham, on paper, like we should be walking through them. We're kind of in the same position as them, where both clubs are learning a new style of play. It's meshing, but it's not really there yet. We just seem to be in a better position than West Ham, and I think that just comes down to quality alone and just strength and depth. And I think that's going to be what's the difference in this game. We can bring on the right substitutions. We got a lot of attacking threat, and our midfield's good. But I can't shake the fact that we're not good at West Ham. Like, you know, bogey grounds and everything. When you see a certain away day and you're like, yeah, banana slip. Yeah. Early kickoff at a ground that we've won once at with fans since West Ham moved there.
Jesus, is it that bad? It's one win.
Bro, we've got 2 wins since they moved. One was in lockdown, so I barely even count that. Yeah, and like the other one was the first time we went there. Yeah. So it's like, I believe we can win. Don't get it twisted. But if you're going to ask me where potential banana slip is, like, we always pull up so much stupidness every time we go to West Ham. If it's not the Masuaku goal, which was a cross into a shot.
Oh, yeah, the cross shot. Yeah, I remember the cross shot.
Rudiger letting one of the most left-footed players I've ever seen in my life in Yarmolenko onto his left foot in the 90th minute. There's Arnautovic ruining our title hopes. What else? There's probably something else. Hey, last season, we got the slap back to reality in our first away game. We lost 3-1 there. Caicedo getting wheeled out without a pre-season because Pochettino's panicking.
Is that when he gave away the penalty? Did he give away the penalty that game? Okay.
Yeah, straight off the bench for no reason when we're behind in a game, and he's not even played in like a month or 2. So God knows what we're going to pull out this season. But with that in mind, 3-1 Chelsea, and we're still winning. In terms of the forward line, I actually don't know. And that's a good thing. I don't know, and I don't even really care too tough who we put up top because I see positives regardless. The argument is Jackson or Nkunku up top. My answer is yes. Pick one. Figure out later. I don't care. Palmer's going to play. Great. One of Nkunku, Noni, Neto, or Sancho. I have no problems with any of them starting.
Yeah.
Go and win. Go and win. Let's end it. Let's end our crappy run at West Ham and like actually make another statement this weekend. We're capable of it. It's just I won't write off another banana slip at West Ham because it just happened so many times.
All right. So if you've seen it, so if it was if it was Jackson, Madueke, Palmer, and you started on the left and Neto, you'd be cool with that as the front 4. If that's the
if they didn't change any of that, I'd be fine with it. Like the only real thing that I'm demanding is no Disasi at right back. Play him in the center if you want to. There's no reason for it. Whether we win or we lose, he's going to look terrible. You're putting him up against Kudus for goodness sakes, and he's out of position. Like you're just asking for him to get torn apart. You're going to lower his stocks. You're going to lower his confidence, and it just don't make sense. I put Fofana on the right hand side. Bring Josh Achimpong into the squad if you have to, but we've seen it enough times that it don't work. Don't do it. I don't need it. We don't need to do it.
Okay, no, that's fair enough. So obviously James is injured. Gusto's not back. Who are your actual options at right back?
Literally, we put Fofana up there for like 20 minutes against Bournemouth, and it worked with Tosin in the middle. There's Josh Achimpong. We brought him on like the last 10 minutes against Spurs last time. He actually played pretty well, to be honest. But that's about it. And yeah, that's all of our options at right back.
Okay, any of your central midfielders back? Because Caicedo did play. I actually thought Caicedo played well in the Bournemouth game. He was alongside Vega. Enzo back, Lavia back.
Yeah, Enzo's back. I think Lavia isn't ready yet. But I think Enzo's back, Dewsbury Hall's back. Okay. And if Lavia was back, I would have just said throw Caicedo at right back. And that would have been fine. Like, you get all 3 of them playing at least, and Enzo's a little bit deeper. But even Enzo's a bit like he's only just back, so... Don't know. My only thing is no Disasi. The rest I'll probably be okay with.
Well, all right, that's fair. Big up Surfer in the building as well. Yes, Surfer, what are you saying, man? You good?
Yeah, I'm fine. I thought I would just be here just chilling because nothing really happened at my club this week. So I just thought I'd be in the background.
Yeah,
but nothing's happened. We had a very quiet week. Very quiet week. No, no bad news or anything like that. We just left y'all. That's for Jacob, but we just left y'all to do your business. That's what
I was wondering, is that something you picked up lately, or is it just for me?
No. I have video evidence of Hassan being slot out. So.
Oh yeah. He's Hassan has said slot out before.
Slot.
Yeah, so slot out. And to Will, who says, big up Will, who's been a member of the channel for 8 months. Links in the pin comment. Big up Flawless and clubs later. Yes, as nephew said, yeah, we will be running clubs later.
You on 25?
Depending on what, nah, I'm not got 25 yet. Depending on when the show gets done, I'm not gonna lie, because this could be a long show. These shows are long anyway. This could be a long.
I was a victim of that Arsenal game, Flores. That's why I didn't turn up for clubs yesterday.
Oh, we all were. I fell asleep too. Yeah,
but I went proper. I went like through to and
that was the greatest cure for insomnia I've seen in years. Yeah, I expected that on Sunday, not Wednesday. Fuck.
Sunday is the day of rest.
Sunday hopefully is a little bit better because City have more going forward than Atalanta do, and Arsenal. Don't forget though, Arsenal got Killer Kai, so you know. Sorry, that clip.
Killer I need a striker Kai.
Yo, Killer I need a striker.
It's crazy, bro. I'm gonna keep running with that the whole season because when January comes round, I'm gonna hear go for Gyökeres.
Yeah, you hear about Glockeres and all these things there.
Now he's a forward line striker. I don't even know what a forward line striker is.
Thomas Muller, man. That's a forward line. That's the forward line.
I always think he's more of a killer like those. You've seen those TV shows or films when those henchmen are shooting at people, but they never quite hit them for some reason. It's like
like the stormtroopers in Star Wars.
And they never hit. It's
I get you, man.
You're fired.
You got like 20 stormtroopers and none of them hit the target.
Yeah, exactly.
Like 22, 23 kills.
How did you miss?
It really is. I'm big up to A Solomon who was kind enough to give 5 memberships. So I want to see fire emojis, smoke emojis, clapping emojis in the chat for A Solomon. And if you're in the chat and he gave you a membership, give him a big up, a thank you in the chat as well. Man. But same to you,
later. We won't blame Arsenal if it's boring on Sunday. We'll blame Man City. We expect Arsenal to be defensive on Sunday, like they were last year. So we'll blame
you know what, Vader? I was gonna defend you, but Surfer's right. Yeah, we blaming you if it's boring, 100%.
We're blaming you.
You're the best team in the league. You're best attack in the league, best striker in the league. Do the business.
Because remember, if it's 0-0 and you had like 30 the reason shots, why ain't gonna be no boring game.
You think that's the reason why Arsenal shelled up against Tottenham?
Sorry, Jake.
No, it's okay. I was going to ask, you think that's why they shelled up when we played them? When they came to town, they were a little worried, played a little defensive? Worried about the best teams in the world? Hey, they played that way versus us.
Yeah,
do you want to know what they're riding off now? It's we want to break Chelsea's record. We want that's what they're looking for now because they know they're not going to win the league. Let's go and break Chelsea's record so we look like we got even closer. Go on. You lot had better win a trophy. I've said this all season. You man go trophyless after dropping your morals to play the football that you cussed us out for doing for years while we won trophies. I'm cooking that entire fan base all summer. You man have no morals.
It doesn't take 2 to dance. One of the dancers just want to stay at the bar and drink. So, it doesn't take 2 to dance.
It don't take 2 to dance because I'm sure we've all been at a rave and danced with a girl who can't dance too tough and you've made it work. Let's not do that.
I'm also going to counter that as well and say I've been at the club before where I can't move. I just like this and Shorty's dancing the whole time. You know what I mean? So there's 2 ways there's a lot of ways to skin a cat, so they say.
You know what?
All right, nice. Under 20 minutes, I already got flawless coughing. Nice.
Jacob's right in
regards to that. Right.
So whether it's the girl or whether it's the guy, yeah. So this whole it takes 2 to dance. Nah, it doesn't. You know what I'm saying? It takes 2 to dance very well, but it don't take 2 to dance.
To do it synchronized, it takes 2.
Yes. See, he knows. You know what I'm saying? That's why Vea said you guys are jokers. Big up to Vea every single time, though, man. Make sure you subscribe.
You don't know what Garley's talking about.
Yeah, Jacob,
it could have been heard, wasn't, but it could have been for legal reasons.
Hang on a minute. He's got a GTA account. We all know what you can do in those GTA accounts and the PS5 version. You know what I mean? It's all good.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I only have the PS4 version.
You lied, sack of shit.
Nah, man, statute of limitations.
I have a PS5. I only have the 4. That's
hey Jacob, you can just say this is before your wife, man. Statute of limitations is up on that crime, man. Statute of limitations is up on that crime.
About crimes.
My excuse is I was looking for you. Where were you at? It's your fault that I ran into her. It's ultimate gaslighting. I learned from Vader.
That's that. You know what? Gator is the gaslighter extraordinaire, That's what I've realized doing a show with him on a weekly basis.
Yeah, he'll gaslight you for the entirety of it.
When I say extraordinary gaslighting, like I've never ever seen before. This will turn any defeat. Your team could lose 6-0 and he'll try and find a positive for you and stuff like that. Like, Arsenal fans should be happy.
Or he'll go, man. The Ipswich Town game at home is going to be real tough for our guys. That's gonna be
he did. He told me. He told me Luton away was a tough fixture. Yeah, he says we got to make sure we don't turn off versus Luton away because it's a real tough ground. I said, what do you mean? Because you got to go through someone's backyard to play? What are we talking about? A tough fixture.
As much as I'm gonna do up fucking Blue Brothers and all of that, and City struggle gimmick is terrible.
Yeah, and this guy now
crazy.
Liverpool should be happy, or Chelsea should be happy, or United should be happy. It's like, no, we should not be. Like, this is what it is. City don't always get what they want, but yeah, you lot aim for it. You lot sign Gundogan and Savinho. That's a positive step. We'll be like, it's like that's a positive step. Like that means something in the window to go and get two players in that caliber.
Kevin De Bruyne is a doubt. I can only replace him with Phil Foden or Gundogan.
Yeah, that's another thing he said. City. He said yesterday. Was it yesterday? Yeah. Shout out to TJ because it was on his chat. He was like, "Oh, City ain't City right now." That was what he saying. Won all their games, but City ain't City right now.
One game gets into the line. Look, City. What are we doing here?
Won all their Premier League games.
You're not City because you had that hideous flat tropical drink kit on. That's why you didn't work on Wednesday. A disgusting kit.
Well, big up Staffy. But back to Chelsea as well. We'll go to you, Surfer, on Chelsea. What lineup would you like to see in terms of attack? Like, because that's been the talking point. Is it a Jackson you like to see? Would you prefer to see Nkunku start after getting a goal? Is it Sancho on the left? Is Neto on the bench? Does Neto play on the right? Does Madueke drop to the bench? So you got options. What's the front four you would like to see?
I'd like to see. Is it?
Sorry, I was clearing my throat.
Sorry.
USA.
Yeah. I'd like to see Neto on the left, Jackson up front, and Nkunku in the 10, and Palmer on the right. That's what I'd like to see.
Oh, sorry, say that again. What was that for?
I'd like to see Neto on the left, Jackson up top, and Nkunku in the 10, and Palmer on the right.
Okay, first. That's a good front four still.
Yeah,
that's a good front four.
I don't like Palmer in the 10. I think it limits him. We saw it against Bournemouth, where I don't know if it was a tactic, or if it was a wrong tactic, because we had no one in the middle. That's why we kept passing it backwards and sideways. He was on the right with Noni, which means they could focus all on the right. Noni didn't have a good game. He didn't play well, but also Palmer was over there. If you're gonna do that, I don't think you can afford to do that. We just about got away with it against Bournemouth. I know West Ham have had a very mixed, and being polite here, mixed start to the season, but they still have quality players. Do you know what I mean? You got Mohamed Kudus there, you got that tough midfield of Alvarez and stuff like that. You got Bowen there who can just score out of anywhere. You know, you got what's his name up top. Jamaican striker, what's his name? Mikel Antonio. Yeah, Mikel Antonio is still there. So I think we have to be a bit more careful. We're going to need to control the game more. Fortunately, I think Enzo's going to come back into the team because he's made him captain. He'll probably captain the game, which is even more unfortunate. But yeah, no Disasi at right back. He's not going to throw Achimpong in. I know he's not going to throw Achimpong in the way he talked about him today. He's not going to throw him in.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, hopefully he gets minutes against Barrow. I'd put maybe Fofana there, or I'd switch Cucurella onto the right and put Vega on the left, or put Vega right. I don't know, man. I just do that, but man, I'd still take the Bournemouth performance for 1-0 win tomorrow. I just would. I'd just escape out of there. I'd just get out of there anyway. It's one of those games. 12:30 kickoffs are stinky to begin with. It's one of those games that's got. Like I think it was 12:30 last year as well. I think it's Caicedo's debut. Or was it?
I think it was early kickoff Sunday or something.
It was a 2 p.m. on a Sunday.
That was a disastrous Caicedo debut when he had no pre-season or any games, and Poch decided to throw him on, and he gave away a penalty. But we also missed a penalty in the first half. So, yeah, it's just one of them. Hopefully, I don't think Sancho will start. Like I said, I think he'll come on again if someone's not working out.
Big up Eddie, man. This guy, idiot. Big up Eddie, man. Big up Eddie every single time.
Don't
This guy was in the group chat. He was in the group chat doing Anthony prop.
Yeah.
He was doing Anthony prop in the group chat. Yeah.
Really?
Bro, no one's even anti the sassy like that. It's just no to right back.
No, it's just not a right back. You know, it's like putting Wan-Bissaka at left back, but worse. You know what I mean, or something like that, or you know, or actually favouring João Felix as a player, as you know, Eddie, which you do. So it's just one of those things. I think it'll be a bit tougher, but I'm worried about. I don't think Caicedo Enzo works in the pivot. I just don't think it works.
You're not with it. Is it Lavia?
No, I think Enzo brings out the worst in Caicedo.
Ah, okay.
Because I think I've said this. I think Caicedo doesn't trust what Enzo can do in that position, and he overthinks, and he has to think for two players, and he gets caught out of position a lot. I think he's more. Saw him last week against Bournemouth, even though it was a tough game. There's only two of them in midfield. He seemed more comfortable leading and stuff like that. The game against Man City with Lavia seemed more comfortable. Last season when Enzo wasn't there, just looked comfortable, just more comfortable. And
that's fair.
I just don't. Yeah, I think it should be. I think we might get a bit overrun in that case. But escape with 1-0, I don't really care. So.
We're about Jed, just go get the dub. Big up to A. Solomon as well. Says, question for the panel: do you think Jackson, Højlund, Richarlison break their goal tallies from last season?
I think Jackson could score more.
Someone else.
Hey, Solomon, are you saying league goals or is this overall? That's what I'll ask. Are you saying?
I know Jackson got 14 league goals last season. I think he can break that.
Because overall,
maybe not by much. I don't know if he gets to 20, but I do think he can get above 14.
What did he get overall across all comps? Was it 14?
20 something? I think got 21.
Was it 21? Oh, he's saying league goals. All right, no worries. You don't need to check. So
I think Jackson could. I think he can get more than 14. He's already on a couple. So.
Okay. What are you saying, Jacob? Richarlison break. I don't know what his Premier League goal tally was last season. What can he break it?
He needs to get into the training room before we could talk about scoring a damn goal. You can't score a damn goal if you're not at the damn park playing on the damn. You know what? He's just hurt. He's hurt. He's okay. He's talking to somebody. They said it's gonna be okay, Richie. It's gonna be okay.
All right, so I take that as a no. In regards to Højlund, no, he's not getting more. You got 10
if he scores one goal, I will clap for Richarlison.
Richarlison is terrible, but yeah, he is.
If he's even starting over Xerxes, I'll be surprised.
Yeah, Højlund, I don't think he gets because he's already injured. I don't know when he's back.
If Richarlison,
I don't know. So Højlund, I'm gonna say no. I don't think he barely got 10 last season.
If Richarlison starts only over Solanke, the only excuse I'll accept is that Solanke's injured. I hope he doesn't get injured.
No, Ainge said today that he said it's better off to just wait for me to give you an update rather than to continue to ask about his availability. That's how far away he is. So whatever that means, means.
Yeah, what happened to him?
Yeah, what was the injury?
A finger.
No.
Oh God!
That feels a finger injury.
You know what? We're just gonna bypass that. Like
you just move along.
We're just gonna move.
I'll let y'all use your imagination. Whatever you think that meant.
No, you know what? I'm just gonna bypass it.
Yeah, this guy. I'm not doing this.
Speaking of Postecoglou, he said on Spurs team news, Odegaard doesn't look good. Still waiting for it to settle down, but he'll definitely be out for a next period. Basuma trained today, so he should be available. I'm guessing that's saying. Oh yeah,
read the next part
of it. There it is. Yeah, I read it. So yeah, whether and this is also Ange Postecoglou on whether there's been an overreaction to Spurs early results this season. No, I've said a few times that this is just the way of the world today. People would rather be first to make a judgment, even if they are wrong, rather than wait for someone else. Damn. Oh yeah, and he did say Basuma trained today, should be available tomorrow.
I mean, to be fair, on the same breath, people were quick to put Tottenham in a title race last season.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's a bit crazy. Big up Jazz back.
Well, okay, so when you say people, I don't know if it's fans, and if it's fans doing it, then there's no excuse for them. They can just choose to feel whatever they want. They can say the sky is made of cotton candy and sugar plum rainbows. I don't give a fuck. But when people misconstrue what my manager says, which a lot of Spurs fans have been doing that, rival fans like to do that, where they say, oh, he said they can challenge for the league. No, he didn't say we're legitimately. He said what is to stop us from, rather than
that in general there were people talking. I didn't mean Ange specifically. I just saw there were people talking about it in general. I didn't even remember what Ange said at the time.
But yeah,
he said something to the effect of like, why shouldn't we feel like we should challenge for the title? I know we're not like that far along, but we should still go with the mentality that we can, or else we never will. And it's the same thing when my wife's like, you're never going to clean the dishes. You're never going to fold your laundry. I will. Just have faith in that. I will.
No,
just not today.
That's like a coaching and team.
And then you say there's always next year, right? You always say there's always next year.
Yeah, she shouldn't have faith in. Like I'm with you on what Ange said about Spurs, but there's more chance of Spurs being in the title race than you doing the dishes and folding the laundry in the same day. That ain't even in your household.
You know, that is very true. Both of those in the same day. Spurs may as well do the European double. Talk to me nicely. Come on, I ain't doing all that.
It's the dares to do. That's what he says.
The dares to do for the next 6 days till FIFA 25 is fully released for standard edition.
That's it. It is, but that being said, Jacob,
don't talk to me.
A lot's gone on with Spurs and just been under a lot of criticism. He mentioned it there in the he was asked from, I believe that was a journalist, stating whether the criticism has been over the top in terms of your early results. Poor performances, mixed, poor overall, in particular in the derby as well. You was in the comment section when we did the show that night. It was the Q&A that night when we was talking about it, and was very vocal. And I know you're someone who backs Postecoglou. So yeah, just thoughts on the criticism he's received. Yeah, because you were saying in the chat, you think it's over the top.
Some of the stuff that is applied to him is absolutely applicable. No man, and he knows this, he would say this before I could ever say it to defend him, that no man is absolved of any kind of criticism, especially when you're in any type of position of power in a job that's results-based. Like, he's said that to us. So from that standpoint, it's like, okay, he knows what's at stake here. He knows all the things, and people like to attribute the fact, oh, he says this, he should just shut up, and then people won't misconstrue. I've heard that from so many Spurs fans. If he just didn't talk and didn't say, and it's like, I don't know if people don't understand. Like, I've worked in sports for 10 plus years in my professional career, and sports media specifically is part of that, a large part of it. And every coach in every league of every sport that I've ever worked for, the head coach is like, he is responsible for X amount of hours to the media, so he has to speak. Yeah. And when the same reporters every week coming in asking you about trophies, talk to me about trophies. You always win trophies in your second year. You said that you always win trophies. You said, yeah, I did say that. And they're like, oh, so you think you're going to win trophies this year? He's like, what, am I supposed to lie? Am I supposed to get up here and tell you I'm a fucking loser? We ain't going to do shit today. We ain't going to do shit tomorrow. This club's a bunch of losers. Conte already told us that. But then what did the fans do? Oh, Conte, how dare he? How dare Conte hit the nail on the head? And I don't like the way that the results of that affect me, because and then now they're doing the same thing that Antonio Conte said. Antonio said, here's a mirror, Spurs fans. Look at it. You bums. The only way anything changes is if Tottenham change it. And then, so look, we start minutely doing things that I think are different. We overhauled the complete management of our academy. Now we have a whole different setup, from the academy, from managers to training staff to everything, physio, etc. It's all revamped. Ainge has been given with this project that, I mean, obviously, when you come into something that has been unsuccessful since 2008, effectively, you could say, on the pitch, on a business standpoint and a commercial standpoint, we've grown, we've flourished, of course, but on the football pitch, the name of the game is to win. And when you don't win, that reflects negatively as far as your ambition, etc. So when we start doing things differently, and the moment it starts getting uncomfortable for people where they say, I'm a little concerned with where we're going, it's Ainge out. Saying a lot of this from a position of pre-Coventry. Now, 75 minutes into the match at Coventry, I was like, I guess I am a clown. I guess I am a fool. Who am I to ever defend Ainge Postecoglou for this the worst 88 minutes I've ever seen? I don't know the time that I've ever seen 85 minutes effectively of that horrible football at Tottenham, at any manager, player, etc. So I was like, okay, clearly my manager doesn't know what he's talking about. And I was wrong in having that belief and that faith. And then boom, Kulusevski comes on for Timo Werner. And what do you know? The game changes because Timo Werner fucking leaves. I'm not going to dive down that road. That road was enticing me. I said, Jacob, yell about Timo for a second. No, I'm not going to do that yet, or hopefully never.
I understand. You've been there.
I would.
Jules.
This guy, because he's a goosebumps, I'm supposed to like this guy. Because he does all the Spurs TikTok admin bullshit, I'm supposed to like this guy. There's a reason he went to Leipzig. They forced Lewis. He knew what he was doing. He was like gentle nudge over there. And you know what? This schnitzel merchant needs to go back to the second division of Germany, Bundesliga, whatever the fuck they call it. Bundesliga, right, 2 Schnitzel A. I don't know what they call it. I know Schnitzel's naturally from Austria, but it's technically the same thing historically. So you're both Schnitzel merchants in my eyes, and that's where he belongs. I heard Harry Kane loves it. 50-something goals since he enjoyed. So 50-something goals from Harry Kane. I hope he's having a good time, Harry Kane. I hope you're enjoying yourself.
Great.
We got Timo Werner.
I've ever seen him. I'm just the happiest I've ever seen him.
He's smiling every day. Full of schnitzel, lederhosen, and beer, and I'm happy for him. Long may he prosper. He deserves it. You know, we held him down for so long, and then he finally is free of us. Took a year to, clean the oil off himself, the nasties that we've got him covered in. And I feel bad for a lot of these players like him, like Son, that we've done wrong throughout the years. And it's like, bro, 2016, bro. I'm speechless when I think about 2016 because of where I was as a fan.
This is how bad Spurs have got you. I have never heard you speechless, ever.
Because I don't like to look at the past and be like, oh, wasn't that so great when you haven't really done it. But like, I keep going back to the best times were 2016 to 2000, the 1918 final. And then after that, literally that game, since that fucking game, the armpit of Moussa Sissoko that haunts Tottenham forever. We can't get out of the arm. It's been downhill, and everybody just like when we got Jose, it was like, okay, let's try and chase the high again. I know the party's over, but the Coke dude said we're over at this party. Let's go chase the party. And we went down that road, and we got robbed, and we didn't end up at a party, and no one's having fun. And then we ended up with Nuno. And he said, it's okay. I know you got robbed. I got a shirt for you. Then Nuno, I'm not even going to talk about Nuno. I don't even blame Nuno. He made us proud against Liverpool. Shout out Nuno. But you get Conte, and that was really like the last hurrah. That was the last time that I said, okay, I will support what we're doing because he is a winner who maybe could get these losers to be winners. And what I've seen throughout the entirety is that it doesn't matter who's the manager. These players are going to be losers. It doesn't matter if you get a proven winner. They're going to be losers. It doesn't matter if you get the guy who never wins a trophy. They're going to be losers.
So that's where you're at with it, Jacob. It's beyond Ange Postecoglou with you now. You just look at it and go, the players are not good enough. Even though he has co-signed a lot of these players.
Co-sign is different from putting his face on the line in regards to shielding the players from the criticism they're going to receive. Timo Werner is not an Ange Postecoglou signing. Jed Spence is not an Antonio Conte signing. He said so. You can't tell me Fraser Forster, Richarlison, Antonio Conte said, yeah, go get me those guys. And I'll even go back further. Jose Mourinho. You think Jose Mourinho, when he said, give me Milan Skriniar. And you know what they said? Here's a Joe Rodon for your troubles. They wanted Bruno Fernandes. They get him Jetson Fernandes. This is the history of the Tottenham. Antonio Conte, this little fucking asshole right here. He taught the history of the Tottenham. They're never going to change. They're never going to change unless they change the Tottenham. You can change the manager, but you will never change what Tottenham do and who they are by doing what we're doing. I think that there was my sister-in-law or my brother-in-law, someone got it for me for Christmas.
Jacob going through it, and Lewis is like, "Oh, what's going on? The house is being repossessed." Lewis is like, "Yo, can I have your PS? What are you saying?"
The thing is like I don't blame Ainge.
Mourinho one.
I'll put it to you I wish. No one bought me that when Mourinho was here, unfortunately. You
know
know what? Jose Mourinho, the last
fine.
final we were ever in, Jose Mourinho, we fucking sacked him before it just because. Fuck you. That's why. Because you might have won us a trophy, and then we could have had a taste of something nice, and then we would have won more.
Pay that money. That's really what happened. They didn't want.
I think it was the Super League. I'm convinced it was a Super League because it all happened before that.
Perfect distraction. That's what it was. You meant the day after the announcement.
No, it was literally no. It was on the day. It was on the day. It wasn't on the day.
I'll put it to you this way: as a parent,
it was a Monday.
Let me put it to you this way. In regards, because I want to wrap up my thoughts so we can move on to something else that's a little bit more fun to talk about.
No, we're fine talking about Spurs this way.
Yeah, this is calm.
It's like, as a parent, if my kid had a shitty diaper and shit was coming out the sides of it and out the top of it, and I just changed her pants instead of the fucking diaper. Well, what are you gonna? Yes, of course the next pair of pants are gonna get covered in shit because you didn't clean the shit in the first place.
Interesting analogy.
So it's like we do it again and again and again, and we just have shitty pairs and shitty pairs, shitty pairs and shitty pairs. We need to just go wipe the ass, clean the butt, wipe the ass, clean the butt, get rid of the shit, dog, and then change the pants. It is infuriating that people again are like, oh, the pants are poopy, change the pants. Shut the fuck up. Wipe the ass.
The reason why I put up the disclaimer because someone could just be joining and just hear Jacob saying wipe the ass. That sounds crazy, yo.
It drives me fucking crazy.
That sounds wild. That's why I had to put up.
Angel.
That's because
out.
We're going to listen to the audio version. Wipe that ass. I'm going to get Marshall to clip that on his soundboard. Wipe that ass. I'm going to do that.
I apologize. I feel I battle this every day though, so I'm very like.
This is the time to let it out. Pause.
There you go. You talk about the shit.
Let it out and clean it up when you're done with it. That's the main thing.
Leave the analogies alone, please. Leave the analogies. Don't encourage, man. That being said, so Jacob,
my PG version is we're diagnosing a symptom of the problem rather than the problem. We've got a headache, but it's because we have a root canal, but we're just taking headache medicine rather than seeing a fucking dentist. That's the easiest way I can put it.
But where are you at with Ange? Is it Ange in or is it Ange out currently? Because I know you're not Ange out. Are you Ange out or are you still fully backing him despite the performance?
I'm fully backing him. I'm going to say never in doubt versus Coventry. He knew better than me. How dare I question him? That was just a testament. That was just to test my will. How far am I willing to trust James Postecoglou? It was about 77 minutes that I was like, I guess I'm a clown. I remember it was about 78, 9 minutes. I was like, I'm a loser. My next title, I guess it will be I'm broken. I'm a loser. I'm wrong. I don't know what my next title. And then we scored. And then we went and we went on. We got another one. And I said, okay, maybe, maybe my manager knows better than I do. Because I saw the lineup and I saw Timo Werner and I saw Fraser Forster and I said, how can I back this? How can I defend a manager that in the second year in a row, the first round of the Carabao Cup starts Fraser Forster? And if we would have drew and Brennan Johnson didn't get that one-on-one and we would have lost on penalties with Fraser Forster again, that is on Ainge. The starting lineup is on Ainge. Set pieces, even though it's Ryan Mason and he's the mole, that's still on Ainge. It all falls on Ainge at the end of the day, player selection specifically. But what I won't blame Ainge for is the things that Tottenham continually do and have done since the existence that I've been exposed to it.
Mm-hmm. Do you know that's?
I think that's fair.
That was powerful.
You know, that's Tottenham's first win in the League Cup since
2021.
That was brilliant.
2021. Bro, that's my fucking manager right there, bro. You knew
it's the last final we were in.
Yeah, which I think your criticism of him is fair. And like you said there is things that Spurs
but I back him
continuously done beforehand. I get backing him to an extent. I think he should be criticized.
We lose versus Coventry though. I was out. I swear.
Oh, so you would have turned it to the loss versus Coventry.
There's no. I couldn't. When I saw that lineup, I said I can't excuse this. If we lose this, I cannot. There's no way.
Unlike Brennan.
Because you're not biased. That's why I respect you, Jacob. Because you don't have no bias like that. Like you will legit call out managers or players that you like if you're a fan of them. But if they do some buffoonery, you're like, yeah, that ain't it. Like no, that.
I had to swallow my words with kuti. when we played in North London Derby. He got dunked on.
Man. That's when I told you.
He got dunked on, bro. It sucks, but you know what's been up since? My Romero shirt in the back because I stand with my dog. Yeah, he got dunked on, and yeah, he's on a poster. And yes, little kids are gonna see the poster and they're gonna be like, "Who's that, Diddy?" Oh, that's Kuti. He got dunked on. But that's my dog. I still support my World Cup champions.
It was your chat actually, because I was in your chat when I think you lot were playing pro clubs, and I said Van de Ven was better than Romero, and you couldn't believe that I said that. Do you think Romero's still better than Van de Ven now?
I think it's difficult to say because the amount of exposure I've had to Romero is more than Van de Ven. But you could say from an intangible standpoint, there's attributes to Van de Ven's game that Romero does not possess.
Yeah, I think he's quality. I think Van de Ven is top.
I love Van de Ven. Ironically, I remember there's a few people who were in my chat way back when. You know, before I don't even know if I had 1,000 subs at the time, but when we had Conte and we were looking for a left-sided center back, I was like, and I know how Tottenham operate, cheap, shitty, and you never heard of him. So I used to do amateur scouting, and I used to look at other leagues more than I watched the other big six. I would watch Tottenham, and then I'd watch a bunch of other leagues. I would keep up with 2 different teams from other leagues and try and see who stands out in a very amateur way. And Mickey Van de Ven was one of those guys that I was keeping up with Leverkusen the year before they did what they did last year, and I saw him and I was like, who's that guy? That's a big ass fast motherfucker. And then I looked into him, and then a week later he had that viral clip where he ran like 100 yards and goal line clearance and shit. And then
against Union Berlin.
We would have never signed him if FSG.
Big up everyone.
Big up Lewis.
You lot. Lewis G. Lewis, blessed for joining. Much appreciated. Let them know what you got.
Blessed for having me on as well, man. I appreciate it.
Hey, big up Lewis.
Make sure you subscribe to Carefree Lewis G, people. They'll have his.
Great. Now I'm here with 3 Tottenham fans. Fantastic.
Hey. Let's
free against 1, 3 Tottenham fans.
To see these vicious rumors that you're perpetuating right now.
Vicious rumors. Sure.
Yeah, vicious. Yeah, sure, mate. Yeah.
Where's the lily white hoodie though, Flawless? I'm a little disappointed.
This guy. Hey, same to you. You know what I'm saying? All right. Get the fit eyes YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Say about me. All right. Say about me. Okay.
It's about the spirit.
Yeah. It's about the spirit.
No, but I really do like Van de Ven. Actually, I think from Tottenham perspective, the center back position is actually the future looks kind of okay right now, because we got a guy named Luka Vuskovic who was about 15 or 16 when we signed him, and he was 6'6", I think, or 6'5" when he was
6'4". I think 6'4" when he was
now. He's still growing. He's still growing, and he's getting.
Let's face this, right? Daniel Levy did something he's never done before in the past 15 years, and he didn't fully back a manager when you're out of the Champions League. Do you know what I mean? It's usually the other way around. When you guys get into a Champions League, he doesn't back the manager with proper signings. He's gone down this other route now with like all other clubs now that were last year were sniggering at Chelsea with the youth project and stuff like that. That's what he's doing. Let's face it. That's what he's doing. That's what he's doing.
I don't think there's anything wrong about it, though.
I don't blame Ange. You know what I mean? I think he's in, like Jacob said, I think whoever goes there, we've seen Conte and Jose. I know Jose was probably, but we've seen Conte go there, and he's battling against just. Let's face it, it's Daniel Levy, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? It's Daniel Levy's club. We got the fans. We got our Tottenham back, whatever that fucking means. Do you know what I mean?
You saw his grin when he said that, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's what I mean.
I'm gonna put that on a fucking t-shirt and sell it in the pro shop in a week.
It's easy to convince some of this fan base that we just play like the first 10 games of last season. We got our Spurs back. We got it back. It's so easy to convince a huge percentage of this fan base. You know, I like
Yeah, but then again, I kind of understand it though.
That's why Jacob is one of the few Spurs channels I subscribe to. Do you know what I mean? Because he's always, apart from his Cuti Romero obsession, which I find offensive, but. It's just.
Oh, sorry. Let me just drink out of my.
Cheers. I got a Romero mug.
Cheers.
Hey, but you can't hate the dedication though. You can't. What's the win about it?
It's the point. Look what he's got. This is, let's face it. I know he's won in other leagues, but this is the biggest job he's ever had. Right? Yeah. It's the biggest job he's ever had. Right? People going, oh, he accepted these signings and stuff like that. Bro, when you get the biggest job, when you don't think you're going to get a big job, like if you're at Celtic, you can be a boss and boss them around all you want because it's Celtic, right? But when you go to a Premier League club, one of the biggest clubs in the world that you can get, you're going to be perceived as a yes man because you don't really want to rock the boat yet, do you? Do you know what I mean?
Well, here's the thing about the yes man. Unless Jazz want to go first.
And all managers are yes men anyway.
Yeah, I don't mind going. I can say anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do want to hear from Jez because I don't like the yes man thing. Everybody's a yes man. When Flawless said, "Hey, you want to do this show?" I said yes. Does that make me a yes man?
No, makes you a smart individual.
Were you waiting by your phone? Were you waiting by your phone all day?
Well, I did text Flawless. I said, "Hey, we still good."
Yeah, but Jacob, here the thing is though, what I say about the whole yes man thing when it comes to managers, if you have zero say and start getting players in that you don't want, when them players don't perform, you are blamed. So therefore, I've said this before, leave. Let's say Ange
he will,
and that's any manager. That's not Ange. That's any manager of any. That's manager of any club, because you are going to get blamed, and it's your reputation that's going to take a hit. If you are being given Timo Werner, Richarlison, Solanke, let's say he wanted none of those three. Guess who's being not the person who recruited him and co-signed that, not the people around the table making decisions. That's on you. Same way with Chelsea. Let's say Maresca didn't want an Nkunku, didn't want the players that they signed. Guess what? If they don't work out, who gets the majority of the blame? Maresca. Same with Ten Hag. People try that at Manchester United. Or he didn't want his Mount where he's signing and all this nonsense. They were his signings. What we do?
That's the thing. That's the thing though I would say though. That's why I definitely agree with Floyd. Like the Richarlison one is kind of what it is because Richarlison was already at the football club before he came in. With the Werner one,
just using him as an example, whoever he signed it, regardless.
Like for me, the way I look at it from our perspective, obviously Solanke, he definitely because I think even today he said I saw in the interview he talked about Solanke today.
He's always put his name on the line for Solanke and Johnson. To be
like this.
Those are the only two that I put on him, though.
Yeah, I see. Partly I heard that with Jacob as well. It's just for me is that I feel like with certain players, it's like my biggest issue is that you brought him back in the summer because I feel like you as a manager you should have known probably from the 6 months that we've seen of Werner that another loan will not help us. I feel like from that scenario, from that case, like cool, you bring it into 6 months. I didn't like it. But I can at least sit here and say, you know what, it's an emergency kind of signing. You're bringing him you just bringing the body in. I can, from that aspect alone, I can understand it from January. For me, what put me off was bringing him back in the summer because we've seen enough. Jacob definitely saw enough. I saw enough. So for me, it's kind of like what were those conversations between the recruitment team and Ange and the people around? Is like what. Like
he did sort of distance himself when it was first coming around. I think during the preseason I remember him addressing it, that the fact that they said, it was your attack you said last year that let you down. And, some of the signings you brought in were familiar names with those negative connotations that you applied. But what he also did was say, deals like Timo's deal is one where they present it to me and I simply say whether I like it or I don't, and it's the club. Like he kind of did in the PC version of what Conte did with Jed Spence. Whereas Conte with Jed said, that's not my signing. This is what Tottenham does. They like to sign young players, hope they become good, and then sell them for more money. He's like, that's not mine though. Ainge kind of did that again with the Timo Werner deal. And what another aspect with the Timo Werner deal specifically that I would look at is think about the fact that we had a release clause, or not a release clause, but to activate it, the option to buy was what, 17 million, I believe, 17 and a half. Yeah, and then when we get the loan deal done, now the new buy fee is 9 or 7 million. So we've dropped their buying clause down by 10 million. That tells me we've also restructured the payment wage, the way that we've pay weekly for Werner with Leipzig, because the first 6 months we played 100% of his wages. But this is just what Twitter sources say. Obviously, they haven't released the financial figures yet, but the sources on Twitter say that we have restructured the payment plan, and I think we're paying 40% of his wages, and now Leipzig is paying 60%. I think it's something like that, and we got the buy clause lowered, so the deal was completely restructured. As a player, he's shit, and I agree. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Now, from a business standpoint, that's why it makes sense, because Levy would do that. The board would absolutely love that.
I think he will do that, but I feel like in that scenario where I kind of agree with Flores is then like Conte is doing with Jet, just I feel like what would really help his favor is if he just came up and said, "Yo, this wasn't really on me. That's not my guy." Like I was cool having him in the squad, but overall, I'm not really necessarily looking at him as an option that I preferably wanted at the football club. Kind of like, obviously, I don't know how to word it because I feel like as a football manager, especially if you're talking about a guy like Timo Werner, it's very hard. It's very hard because it's either going to be the club that people don't go after, or you as the manager goes after. But
yeah, and
but
you know, Jez, you know he's that kind of guy though too.
He is. My issue. See, 100% of that too. I mean, every manager is set up to fail. Obviously, I go into my sports in a second. I go into my sports anyways in a second. But this is where I'm probably more critical about is the guys that we have made permanent. Sri Lanka, as I said, I don't really have a problem. I think what I disappointed was is the fact that you wanted to make Sri Lanka the top money signing at Tottenham, but you make it a week before the Premier League starts. I think those type of signings you have to make early so you can actually integrate these guys during the preseason. Like, no, the guy ended up getting injured, goes thrown into the North London Derby, a big game, thinks it out, no Coventry, another must-win big game. Like, he's coming into the games where, one, he's not really even used to the system, two, the other players around him not even necessarily playing well, and three, she's just not even match fit to begin with. So kind of for me, it's like, this is where a lot for me are playing at the football club in terms of certain signings. So with Sri Lanka personally, I don't have a problem with. My problem with Johnson is, because there's obviously a big conversation about him, is the fact that, ironically, I don't even hate Johnson. I don't hate him. My problem was always that, why did we sign somebody like Johnson, knowing what his profile is? The goal that he scored against Coventry, this is the best. This is where you get the best out of him. In like a mid-block, low-block kind of team when you want to play on a counter-attack. If he was still at Nottingham, I think he would still be doing good for his level.
And showing that and then they're going to do it.
Yes, and you would see guys like the Brentford or even other teams maybe also view of trying to look at a Brennan Johnson and say, you know what, I like the player there. But the issue is when you have a style of the way Ange wants to play football, I just never understood from a profile perspective. Forget because Ødegaard, we don't know what he's going to be at Tottenham. But one thing I know for a fact is that from a profile perspective, you just look much more suitable than all the other wingers at the football club. And that's kind of like my kind of problem is like the inconsistency of some of our signings. Some of our signings fit perfectly from what we're trying to do, but then the other guys don't fit at all what we're trying to do. And it's kind of what confuses me.
Because we changed. In the middle of the season last season, Jez, I think you remember. I don't remember the dude's name, but there was a different guy who was in charge of our data analytics, like the dude who was there for X amount of years left, and we replaced him. And this is my theory in regards to the difference in wingers of Johnson, because you're right. I think versus a low block counterattacking team, or if he was on a low block counter, that he would perform much better than in a possession. Because as a winger, it doesn't suit Brennan Johnson or Son really to receive the ball, have a man in the half space here where you want to go, and the wide space is wide open, but you're standing still. So it's now from ground zero, I got to beat this man on this pace, which is not going to happen, not at this level. And to me, you got to have something to your game to be able to be effective as a winger in this system. And Ødegaard, I agree. What he becomes, we don't know. It's just raw talent right now. And it's very unfortunate that he got injured because I was really looking forward to seeing him versus Coventry. But, you know, his style, he plays more direct. He plays more with the ball at his feet. He looks more confident with the ball at his feet. It reminds me a lot of like how I liked Mikey Moore in the beginning of the season. You know, all these injuries to the wingers might lead to Mikey Moore getting more of a chance or being more around. I don't know, but that change in administration for our data analytics scouting dude, I don't remember his name. I just remember the photo, and he had a sick ass windbreaker on, and it was like he left and we appointed so and so. Was the tweet?
Remember that? Brennan pointed out this guy.
It was cool. It was one of those retro windbreakers, bro. Only
one you would remember that and two mention that, even if it was. I believe it was. It looked nice, but it's crazy. Before you go, Big up to Don C
Okay.
for the super chat. Appreciated, family.
Alright,
Much appreciated. He says,
Don C,
love the honesty, Jacob. I still hate your club. For those that don't know, Don C is an Arsenal fan, but shouts to Don C,
Nah.
always supporting.
Right, big up Don C,
Southampton
man.
as well.
Big
Big
up.
up to Don C.
Back
Nah, but
back
see,
at
no.
you. Hate your club right at you.
Yeah.
But you know,
Go on, Jez. That's point.
but it's only
Go on.
yeah, but just the only part about it is that because people ask me how do you feel about the transfer windows this summer. I don't hate the signings that we have made. Me personally, also Werner, bringing him back. I don't actually hate the signings that we have made. The issue for me always has been that we clearly needed more in certain aspects of the field, especially with the centre backs. The fact that one injury and then we only have two senior centre back level of the football club is just not good enough. The fact that there's nobody there to compete with Madison, obviously, Kulusevski can actually go into that role, and I think he can maybe compete with him. So now but the winger spots, I always maintained that people asking why did we buy a striker. I don't care if it was Solanke or Tony. I still think we needed to buy a striker, but also bring in another winger on top of Odegaard, because I feel like if you see now Odegaard's injured, you go back to all these winger options, like none of them can play the system that he's trying to play. So it's kind of there's so many issues from just a profiling aspects and certain profiling aspects within the squad, but also from a depth perspective where I have issues with. Obviously, do you want me to quickly go on how I feel about Anton?
Yeah.
Talk about it. Yeah, obviously, I'm not really trying because Jacob obviously I share a lot of opinion with Jacob in terms of the manager situation is because I woke up, one of my mates sent me like a link saying I don't think it's true, by the way, me personally, because obviously at the moment Anton's apparently tipped to be the first manager sacked after maybe a Daesh. And if that was the case, the guy that comes in for him probably could be a Rodgers then. People saying
God.
And see, that's right there is my issue. People screaming for the manager to go out of here. And don't get twisted, I'm not somebody that. This is the funny part. People call me a happy clapper because I don't scream the manager out. And I don't consider myself a happy clapper because I criticized the manager a lot this season. I criticized him last season and during the preseason.
Yeah, you do criticize him.
Same.
Because at the end of the day, you can see that there's issues. You saw the Coventry game, just the lack of desire from the team out there, from the players, but also the manager maybe not telling these guys, yo, just play a bit more direct. The lineup, like Jacob, the lineup out there, like Jacob said, my worry was that Foster and Davis was out there. I said pre-match, I said how Werner is out there, but the fact that I worry more about the back line with them two in the back before I have to worry about Werner tells you about the lineup, how I felt going into the game. And then you saw the performance and it's like 70% possession and no shots. No shots. It's just not good. It's just not good enough. And I feel like being manager out and being Ange out is cool. I'm not gonna go and criticize you in terms of being Ange out, in my opinion. My thing is more about is that I feel it's an easy cop out because now that we play like total shit, we don't get results. The fan base can't hold bad results. And let's be honest, Spurs ain't competing for no league title. Sorry, I'm just saying Spurs ain't competing for no league title or Champions League and that. So outside competing for top four, obviously we want to compete for the Carabao Cup and FA Cup. You hopefully want to hope with a good show in the next rounds of the Europa League that you get in the favorable draws and get forward. And did I say even if Ange stays to the end of the season necessarily win any of these trophies? No, because I feel like his football is not necessarily winning football. I feel like if he makes tweaks in the system, I think it can be winning football in terms of winning trophies. But this is one of my main criticisms with him is that you haven't made necessarily the tweaks in the team for us to just maybe be a bit more defensive solid. Of course, we currently not scoring. Maybe be fine. Be actually fine with not having most of the possession of the game because maybe, as we talk about, the wingers can't play the system. So what's even the point having all the possession when the wingers can't do what?
Your wingers are not ice. Your wingers are not ISO wingers.
Can't do it on the counter attack. Maybe they're gonna miss chances regardless. But at least they're gonna be
Kudus last summer instead of Brennan Johnson.
Yeah, that was one of my names that I felt like that right there could have helped us. But obviously, it's part of
Diaby. They were both the same price.
Kudus is cheaper. Only about 3 million or something.
Cheaper, yeah. He was about 10 million cheaper than Diaby and Johnson.
Yeah. They weren't expensive. Those two. I know Diaby was a bit expensive, but kudos was the steal of the summer, definitely. But you're talking about all these profiles in the team, so I'm just in the current state where if people ask me if I'm the manager or the manager, I'm neither.
I'm like, you Ange out.
Not even Ange dope, because for me it's like I talked about the issues that I have with him, and you could think that it's a dope, but for me it's that cool. You suck Ange. I don't think Tottenham necessarily go and hire a manager that gives me the confidence to sit here and say, you know what, I'm comfortable. And also, at least with United, I know if United go and get rid of Ten Hag, they can go and track Amarin. Is Amarin coming to Tottenham? Is Amarin really gonna consider Tottenham when unless we're gonna go and throw the money at those top managers that we want to have at the football club? I'm not necessarily sure if these managers really want to come here and do so. It's kind of like, and I looked at the free agent market as well. It's horrid. It's horrid as well. So unless you're willing to go with unless you want to go with a Tudor, a Garcia, or these type of guys, which I'm not cool with.
As young as Brighton did, but I can see you going for a young unknown.
I'd rather play Will Lancashire than any of that.
So who?
I think I see you possibly not as young as the Brighton manager, but you're going for like a really left field choice.
You know what the funny part about it is? The Tottenham fans would go crazy about it. Why did we start Amsterdam for this type of manager? And this is kind of like my problem. It's like Pete and Jacob touched on it. Is in an aspect of people are happy just for short term stuff. Being happy for the short term, being happy that we have a manager on for like 3 to 6 months, and then we do well. The media talks us up, and all this type of things. And then when shit goes back, get the manager out of it. And necessarily, am I a supporter of saying that, or even through the bad times, you need to stick with the manager? No, I'm not a supporter of that, because I feel like if it gets to a point where it's too bad, I'm not going to sit here and say, don't sack the manager. Sack the manager, because, like, again, Coventry was nearly about to be out of there, and that would have been terrible. And I haven't really defended the manager at any point this season necessarily, but I'm just looking at it from a perspective of this, that I just don't believe a change. I just don't believe necessarily a change just because the fans are asking for the manager to be sacked isn't necessarily going to change anything, in my opinion. It's going to change things in the short term. Maybe Spurs can go and get top 4 this season then, because we have a new manager. I'm asking them what comes after. And I feel like you're going to be having the same narrative, which I'm just not cool with. Like, I would be much more comfortable being the manager if I knew who could come out and actually be the manager at Tottenham. And you know what I mean? I watch a lot of football. I know a lot of managers out there. And the fact that I can't really necessarily say that who can Spurs necessarily go and attract. People forget, Slot rejected us. Slot rejected after signing a one-year extension at Feyenoord.
No, he didn't just reject us. He used us to get better wages at Feyenoord.
Yes.
Smart guy.
Just remember.
He did. And for me, my perspective, I'm kind of thinking. So I'm looking at
fraud. We'll cook his ass 6 points this year. Watch.
Make sure you do. Make sure.
That bald fraud.
Let's go.
I know y'all see the memes of him to that dude in Game of Thrones, the eunuch. You know what I'm talking about?
No, I'm saying just cook him. I know your record at Anfield's woeful, but hey, I hope you're right, man. Take 6
Forrest will there. Anything is possible. This is Disneyland times, baby. Anfield ain't what it once was.
Yeah, but you're more like Butlins in the 80s than Disneyland. So.
But yeah, going back to
what that is.
Hey,
I'm just gonna nod and say, okay.
Hey, Surfer, what's your damn mouth? All right, man.
I said in the 80s.
Okay. Hey, don't be disrespectful.
Going
Is this some
back
kind of
to,
UK thing? I don't know what that
It's
is.
a UK thing. It's the UK thing.
Wow.
Don't worry about it. It's just Surfer
Like
being
tea and
Surfer.
crumpets.
No, let's do that.
Pick up trucks.
Pick up trucks, 4x4, baby. And I ain't talking tires.
I'm gonna get my girl back with my shotgun and pick up truck. Shut up, man.
Well, technically, you don't need the shotgun if you got the pickup truck. You just pick her up in the truck.
Well, extra protection.
Going back to this
He's a phenomenal American accent, by the way.
But going back to what I was saying is that, like, so we were talking about Slot, like, just right there, and at the time, Slot, and still is currently as well, was one of the more promising managers out there to look out for the next couple of years. And he did what he did. How can I comfortably say that any other promising manager said, you know what, this time around, why should I go to Tottenham? when I know maybe in the seasons later on I get a better job. Because in football, things in football change fast. Who knows? Maresca could be sacked again by the end of next year. Tanner could be out of the job next by the time being. Maybe who knows how company is gonna do by the end of the year and buying suck company. Like there's other jobs where I feel like if I'm a promising manager, I'd rather want to touch before I come to Tottenham. So necessarily, yeah. If the, I, like
that's a crazy comment. I even put it up on the screen going as you were.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's crazy. But so what I'm saying, so will I be making an uproar if the manager gets sacked? No, because I feel like even partly of me, unless he changes a couple of things up for these next couple of weeks, I feel like if he goes to a losing streak, I feel like the fan pressure from the fan base will be just too low for the club to be silenced and still back him. So, and will I cry if the manager will be gone then? No, because there are things that are valid enough to say, you know what, you did things where you were deserving then to get the second. But I'm kind of like more of a mindset of just that I just can't bring myself to really go for the rest of the season thinking that shit, mate, what the fuck, it could be a Ryan Mason to the end of the season. And I feel like I said, I just not thinking.
This is what Spurs fans want for us, by the way. They want Ryan Mason in your life again. They want Ryan Mason, the man who every boat he's on, it sinks. No survivors except Ryan Mason. But this is the guy that we allow on the boat number 5, and they're still like, yeah, get this guy out of here. Give me more Ryan Mason.
That's crazy.
So what? So that's the mad thing about it is that for me is that I'm just neutral about the situation. Like I can criticize the players and I can criticize the manager. And if the manager does well, I say positive things about the manager and so for the players. Like one thing I do want to say though is about the players is that just the lack of dog in the team. Just where the guys who just want to shout out to Kulusevski and Spence. They look like obviously Spence had limited minutes this season, but you saw when in his cameo against Coventry, he's trying to put all the efforts out to help the team win. Kulusevski has been consistently, in my opinion, actually good this season, trying to make things happen. I'm just asking for the other better players within the team to start doing the same thing because I feel like if they were doing it, yes, would the performances be nice? Not necessarily, but we would be definitely on more points. I could actually go into games more comfortably, saying, "No, we can win these games." Yeah, go on, Jacob.
Let me just piggyback on that a little bit because I agree wholeheartedly. It's not everyone says Ainge's tactics, he's clearly. I've seen Mapen everywhere Mapen goes. It's just fucking sadness, tears, gray skies, and dead puppies because it's just never okay. Nothing's ever okay. You can put the banner back up if you need to. Look, when it comes to the tactics didn't fail us versus Arsenal, nor did it fail us versus Newcastle, nor did it fail us versus Leicester. All right. The tactics got these bozos in positions to take chances. And specifically in the last 2 losses we got, the last 180 minutes of Ainge ball in the Premier League. Now, Coventry aside, in the Premier League, the last 2 games, 35 shots. 1 goes in off of an own goal from Dan Burns' ass. And you're telling me that the tactics failed somehow when our opposition in that same time, I believe, had 6 and 8 respectively. So to me, it's not the tactics. The tactics are getting these guys in a position to have those chances, but they're not capitalizing on those chances. It's like, I love the old saying, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink it. The only thing you can do is fucking drown him in the water and hope he gulps it, you thirsty, stupid horse. And that's what Spurs fans are. The attackers, not the Spurs fans. They might be the horse that won't fucking drink the water. Get in there, Cindy Lou Who, drink the water. But I'm saying that these players, they're like, look, Papa Matasar, I've been on the pitch for 90 seconds. And instead of Son, who's been on the pitch for 70 plus minutes, having any shots at all, it's Papa Matasar having 2 cracks from 40, 30, 50 yards out. Who gives a shit? That's what we're doing. And it's not Ainge who said, Son, stop shooting the ball. When you're outside the box, I really truly believe that the captaincy armband has somehow got into Son's head where he's like, I just got to pass it to everybody, and he's gonna pass it to Sar so Sar can. And I loved Sar, but who the fuck does he think he is? You scored one goal like that week 2 versus Manchester United last year, and you're still going. How many fucking times? I'm done with Sar. I'm done. For now, anyway. I still love the young man. I think he can get better, but just stop it. Just stop what you're doing. Reassess yourself. But again, this is players letting Ainge down. Players' inability to capitalize on the chances that the fucking tactics build for them. And yes, 1-2 passes cut us open. And yes, we will concede goals. And yes, my manager said we will concede goals. But the fucking object of the game is to score more goals than your opponent, if I'm not fucking mistaken. And Ainge is not fucking mistaken, because you know what? He believes the same exact thing. That if we went out there and we were just 15% good at our job, we would have won Arsenal and Newcastle. But we are not 15% good enough at our job. We were one match 0%, and the other match, I think it was 5%. It was 20 and 18 or something like that we had in both of those games. And nobody, like, I look at the names of the folks who shot this ball. Why is Pedro Porro having 6 shots with no success? Brennan Johnson 4 shots. Kulusevski 6 shots. James Maddison 2 shots. Son had 1 shot, or excuse me, he had 1 shot in each last 2 games in the Premier League. That is not a recipe for success. And I guarantee you, and I'm not one of these fans who's like, because I feel this way, I'm going to pass it off as fact, like a lot of these crumbos in the chat like to do. I think Ainge feels this way, therefore it's a fact. That's how you think he feels. It's so weird to fucking think how you know how some other man feels. But anyway, like, I just can't believe in any form that Ainge has somehow told Son to stop doing what you're best at, which is finishing. Even Spurs fans who don't want to say Son's a world-class player, they would still admit he's a world-class finisher, and he's not shooting the fucking ball. That is a problem. And then all the other people you have shooting the ball are fucking shitty at it. That's a huge problem. And it's like, again,
I agree.
Keep going and going and going. And then it's, Ainge's tactics let us down. He's so naive. No! 15% is all I ask of efficiency in our fucking, the people who want to shoot, just be 15% good at it. That's all I ask.
Or even just 15. I'm just asking for 15% in terms of just the overall performance. This is the funny part. If people were performing like Kulusevski this whole season, we would be just a much better team out there today. Like, would we be sitting now in the top 4 right now? No, maybe we sit in 6th or 8th, whatever. But we wouldn't have had such a harder time against Coventry. We wouldn't have had a hard time against Newcastle in the first half. We wouldn't have a hard time with Leicester. And this kind of like what I'm asking, where I'm like, yeah, like the manager has his problems, and I can accept that. I'm not sitting here saying that people are wrong, necessarily saying everything that they're saying about them is wrong. But my question mark is that, where are just the difference maker trying to make a difference?
Well, the bad players.
Ironically, this has been my remit of the whole season so far. Where are the better players in this team that I expect better from? Where are they? And this is where I'm just feel let down from that perspective, because this is the funny part. I don't know if Jacob agrees. I've seen our team when the players gave up on the manager. These guys don't look like they gave up on the manager for me. They don't look like it.
No, I agree with you. They don't look like they gave up. Coventry, they just look like they didn't know.
Yeah, and partly maybe you can say you can.
And the bad players made a difference in that game, even though it's Coventry.
Yes, they came
on, and then eventually, you're right.
This is one thing I give people know. I've been for all the people saying, "Just you have an agenda against Maddison." Shout out to Maddison for the pass that he gave to Kulusevski. Then for Kulusevski to give the ball into what's it called?
Don't even open the book of Maddison. I will cook that fucking ball.
I've been like, I don't think we need another.
Let's see this. I don't know. I haven't heard Jez. I know your joke man thing on joke man opinion on Maddison. Jacob, I don't know your opinion on Maddison. What is it? Why is it with Maddison?
What is the story of Maddison? I could take you back to a time, 2008, when they were first starting to dilly-dally with this thing called cryptocurrency. And then what happened is Excuse me. My body's like, hang on, I gotta expunge the nasty because we're getting to the nasty, aren't we? We want to talk about the nasty. You want to talk about a man who epitomizes my club at this current juncture. He's Mr. He gives it the biggin on Instagram and all in the socials, and he does all this. He talked to some fan saying you need to get that hairline checked. Fucking 9 months later, look at yourself, buddy. Maybe you should get a transfer to Galatasaray, get that shit fixed for you, buddy. I don't know. But I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to go back to my point about Maddison, specifically me and my experience with Maddison. It's a guy who from afar I've been like, yes, he always scores against us. I think he's a dick and I don't really rate him. But it was more of like I don't like that guy. I don't rate him like that. Then he came to Spurs, and in 10 games, the guy I originally started my channel with, he always loved Maddison. He always wanted us to sign Maddison. And then when we got him, he's like, bro, watch him ball. And then he was balling. I was like, you're right. Clearly, I was blinded by my bias and my agenda, and I couldn't see how good he was. And then this is where the fucking the fun part is. You stand like, oh, I see everybody's getting rich off this thing called Matacoin. Maybe I should invest a little in Matacoin. So, week 4, I'm investing a little money in Matacoin. Week 5, Matacoin. Okay, shit, we're booming. We're going up, baby. Hang on. Let me see how much we got in your account. Let me pull that out too. Let's invest some more in the Matacoin. We invested more and more in the Matacoin. And then what happens, just like with cryptocurrency, all of a sudden, my balance is at 0. It was through the roof, and now I'm at 0. Oh, he's hurt. He's injured. Wait till he comes back. Okay, my account is just suspended. That's it. When my account is restored, my balance will come back. That's what you're saying. Yes, of course. When the balance, when you get right back into your account, don't worry. Everything's going to be just fine. So, okay, I patiently wait. Week after week. Just wait for Matacoin to come back. Everything's going to be good. When Matacoin comes back flawless, we're going to be cooking again. I told you he's better than Odegaard. He's the best. He's better. He's not better than Bruno Fernandes. But I was laughing at everybody. The steal of the summer. Buy of the century. James Maddison. Effectively 35 million from a relegated Leicester. We are talking business, baby. We are cooking. And then he comes back. My account is restored. I have access. Yeah, it just takes a couple business days for the balance to come back. That's it. When the balance, you'll see it. It's just right now, your account, you're in the account. Now we verified that. Your balance will return in 7 to 14 days. Okay. All right. But in 7 to 14 days, I'm going to fucking look. And if my balance isn't there, I'm going to be pissed. And I did that for about 4 months until I said, you know what? The balance is never coming back. It was a lie. I invested in a lie. It's not what I thought it was. And this is what Leicester fans told us. They warned me. They said, Jacob, don't do it. I lost money on Matacoin last year. I lost money every year on Matacoin. He was part of the reason we got relegated, they said. Damn. I said, no, don't worry. Business is booming, baby. Look, I just invested and now I'm up 5 times. Come on. More Matacoin. I put all this chest out there talking nicely about James Maddison, forcing everybody to talk to him nicely about James Maddison. And at the end of the day, all that happened is now I've lost all my money, all my life savings, and it's fuck you, James Maddison. And I don't have any faith that he's ever going to come. Like there's moments where he shows, oh, that was cool. But again, what Jez said, like Son, I hold him accountable. You are the best player on this fucking team. Now play like it. Act like it. Stop giving the ball to these fucking losers. You be the guy. I need a little Zlatan. Not all Zlatan. Just some Zlatan in there. And he says, fuck you, give me the ball, and I take over. That's what I want him to do. And he's reluctant. It's nice guy Sonny. I don't know. And I tried to fight that narrative all last year because I said, look at these clips. He's yelling at players. He's really getting after Brennan Johnson for being a fucking dickhead every single game, every single minute, being a fucking dickhead. And he's really yelling at him, you fucking dickhead. And so I was, okay. But after a while, it's like clearly the bag of fruit got some tainted fruit in it because it ain't working right now. It's making me sick every time I have a smoothie. And he needs to stop sharing the sugar, point blank. But James Maddison is a fraud. He's a con man. He made off with all my money, and he hasn't even fixed his fucking hairline. But I find it funny because you say that, Jez, people say you have a narrative around James Maddison. I find it the opposite. I find a lot of Spurs fans defend him to the hills for no fucking reason.
I've been saying that.
Destiny gets in his way. How can he operate with destiny in his way? And you look at the fucking heat map and they don't even overlap, but one spot. One spot in the forward area. One spot, a brief overlap, but majority of their fucking touches on the heat map, they're not overlapping. Oh, but it's James Maddison. He was trying so hard and Destiny let him down. And you know what Destiny did in all these games that they're saying he did worse than Maddison? Better passer, better touches on the ball, less possession loss per touch, etc. Statistical categories. Oh, that's because they were operating in James Madison's. Always an excuse for this crypto bro. Fuck him. I'm done with him.
You know what kills me about it, and this is what kills me about it when people could say, this is what kills me when people tell me that I have an agenda necessarily about him is, one, I don't have an agenda. I just criticize him like I do every other player. But I'm talking from a perspective of, we want to criticize everybody. We want to criticize the manager. We want to criticize Son. We want to criticize Brennan. We want to criticize Werner. Why is he the only one that never can get criticized? That's all I'm asking. I'm sitting here saying, like, we should be all.
He's our vice captain.
He's vice captain. He's the guy, ironically, that talks the most too. So when you talk the most as well, fuck your tongue. People will get
that back on Arsenal. Fuck you, get back, bro.
People were getting at me. People were getting at me that people were getting after me for defending Johnson necessarily, because people were saying, why are you defending Johnson for deactivating his Twitter account? Yeah, and I said, okay, then the guy is a soft guy. It's cool to be a soft guy. No, there's nothing wrong about him. Like, if his personality is that he just doesn't necessarily can take all the abuse from people, which again is not even justifiable, that's cool. So people going after me and saying all this, Jess, why are you defending Johnson? He needs to tough up and shit. But Maddison's the same guy that closed his Twitter comments because he didn't make the England call-up for the Euros. A way lesser thing to go and close your comments. But people went after me for defending Johnson for getting actually abused, not the criticism. Criticism is fine. I criticize him all the time. But abuse is too far, Maddison, but old Maddison. Look at me, man. I didn't make the England cut. Let me close the comments.
A couple Travella passes don't cover up your dirty laundry, bro.
I'm big up to everyone in the chat. Obviously, Jacob had a lot to say, as did Jez as well. But make sure, whether you're watching on United Spurs of America or you're watching on Sarcasm City TV, you've hit the like button on both. Subscribe to both channels, United Spurs of America, Sarcasm City TV. Hit the notification bell as well. You see the balloons there on Jacob's Jacob's screen. So it's Basuma.
Gimmick infringement for Nkuku.
Since he did the balloons, my lord.
The idiot Spurs, Chelsea. In regards to Manchester United, travel to Palace have spoken on this.
By the way, we're not taking Bruno. I heard that comment earlier. We're not taking Bruno.
He said he's not better than Bruno. I said take
him. And that's fine. We're not taking Bruno though.
As long as he gets GA, it's more than Maddison.
Yeah, cool. Hey,
the thing is, that Bruno guy doesn't get GA either. That Bruno guy doesn't get GA ironically either. That's what I say.
I'll pay his train ticket. Nah, fuck that. Coach. Yeah, coach.
No. So you know what we do? We send both of them back to Galatasaray, bro. That's what we do.
Well, two cheeks of the same ass.
Yeah, but in regards to United travel away to Palace, I'm just hoping we put in a performance, hoping we get the result. That's where I'm at with it. People have mentioned, Manchester United back. This is the test. This is a test to see if there's any genuine momentum. 5:30, Palace, the place gonna be rocking. 5:30, them Palace fans gonna be drinking all night, all day. They're gonna be drinking. So by the time 5:30 rolls around, that place is gonna be rocking. And Selhurst Park is loud anyway. So I'm just hoping we stand up, do the business, get the win, get a victory. That's where I'm at with it, and it will tell me a lot. If we go there and put in an impressive performance and get a result, I go, okay, that's something to genuinely build on. Yes, we beat Barnsley. Yes, we beat Southampton. Pleased to beat both of those sides. One's a League One side, one's a Championship level side. So now we're playing genuine Premier League opposition. Palace haven't been in the best form. 2 draws, 2 losses, haven't won. But yeah, man, we'll see what's going on with that. There ain't really too much to say on Manchester United. We know how the lineup's pretty much going to look. So we'll find out. But we'll get predictions from all the mandem as well. So Jacob, we'll go to you first and foremost. Spurs, you're at home to Brentford. Scoreline prediction.
Now, before Coventry, I probably would have been a little more braggadocious. Before the North London Derby, I probably would have been a little more braggadocious. And before Newcastle, I probably would have been a little more braggadocious. I still feel confident that the tactics will set us up to create these chances, and it's just going to come down to a fucking, flip a coin, I suppose. Are the players going to be what they've always been, or are they going to try and step up to what Ainge wants them to be? You're going to exceed what we thought you were as a human being? Brennan Johnson is Coventry your level? You want to celebrate this? Okay, good job. I'm glad that he was like, clap, clap, fuck you, and then walked away. And then he gave he spit in the Spurs fans' general direction. He
spit on that thing.
He
did.
Why?
There's a video I like to play on my stream, and I suppose the people that don't like that video are very fortunate that I am guesting on Sarcasm City TV, and I cannot play this clip. And I know Flawless would not play the clip if I did have. But there's a simple thing that you do with the Brentford Bees, and I referred to a Florida man, and there's a Florida man, and what he did is he grabbed that fucking beehive. He says, "Is that what you want, bitch?" And grab that thing, spit it in the camera.
I don't know how we got to a man grabbing a beehive and back.
That was his breakfast as well.
You're asking about Brentford Bees, and this is really one of the two relevant times a year I get to bring this video up. So I'm using any excuse to. This is the mentality that we must take.
Yeah.
What was that?
No, I said let him land. He's a guest today.
Scoreline prediction, please, Jacob. Tottenham Hotspur versus Premier League.
It depends. When we grab it's all hinging. And I want you to answer this question, Flawless. Answer me this before I answer you. How about that, Alex Trebek?
Go on. I have no idea who that is, but as you were, go on.
He was a host of a show in which you answered the question in the form of a question.
All right. Okay. Yes.
Jeopardy.
Any question?
Like it would just be an answer, and then you got to form the question that would lead to. Anyway, it's Jeopardy, is what the short show is called. The question for you, Flawless, is this:
Have you seen White Men Can't Jump?
When we grab that beehive, are we gonna go, it's stinging me, or are we gonna?
You do the latter, the second. Love to sunshine in the chat as well.
If we do that, it's 3-1. Talk to me nicely. 3-1.
So 3-1. We got there and then just Spurs Brentford.
But if we go, wait. But if we go,
nah, we gonna do the business. We bouncing back, man.
We tried to bite it. Oh, they stung my mouth.
No.
We bouncing back. Who's saying, Jess?
Go ahead, Jess.
It's either two ways it's gonna go. Either talk to us nicely, back-to-back wins. Any team that doesn't have a winning streak, don't talk to us. Or I'm gonna be after full time. You know, when Tom in Boondocks was singing "Let It Burn."
Yes.
Because this is what's probably gonna end up being with what's gonna be with Anjuman. Like it's gonna be hard and OT to survive the games. You know what I'm saying? Have to give up the love and all that. But now I think window. I think we win. I think it's gonna be our two. Actually, we don't score. So let me say 1-0.
1-0. So therefore, you saying Spurs Brentford?
Is
See, he dressed it up too. He still put some.
It's at our homegrown.
Is that the shit bowl? Right. 2-1 Brentford.
I think 2-0 Spurs. Staying with you, Surfer. Your mom.
Clean sheet.
Traveling. Yeah, man, clean sheet. We getting a clean sheet. Travel to
The
West Ham.
season starts now.
West Ham away. What are you saying, Surfer? Scoreline prediction for that?
2-1 us.
2-1 Chelsea. Jez, what are you saying? West Ham.
4-0 Brentford. Bloody hell, Connor, man.
Yeah, Connor. Jeez, man. 4-0.
It's at the irons. You know what? I say 2-2.
2 apiece. Okay, Desmond's. What are you saying, Jacob?
Officially in the predictions league that I'm in, I said 2-3 Chelsea, sadly. But I think West Ham will give them a good game, run for their money. I like a lot of the attackers that West Ham have. I think Lopetegui is a fucking fool, but he can be good sometimes. I did meet him, in fact, in person. He's a firm handshake, and he was very oily when I met him. So take that however you want. But
how many bottles?
I think he's a good manager overall. But Enzo Maresca, I think, has been pretty impressive, and the firepower from Chelsea is going to be too much.
So you saying 3-2 Chelsea?
3-2 Chelsea.
All right, I'm saying 2 on West Ham.
A thousand bottles of oil, bro.
You okay, Flawless?
No,
You're shaking your head a little bit there.
No, I'm just shaking my head at what Jez is saying, the joke. But now, I think Chelsea do the business. I
I'm just asking because he asked, enough.
Yeah, you know what? Whatever, just staying with you, Jacob. This is crazy. This is the longest prediction I've ever done with 3 people. Palace, Manchester United, another game in London.
Well, you know what they say about Palace? Everywhere you go will follow. Is that how it goes? A lot of MLS teams adopted that chant. So it really, Surfer reminded me when he started singing it. I was like, did it originate in Crystal Palace? He's out. He's done. Surfer, did that chant originate in London, Crystal Palace?
I only heard it from there, but then I heard like Leicester fans do it.
Someone stole it from someone.
A lot of MLS teams do it, and they just say XYZ will follow. Whoa. I thought it was fun.
Crystal Palace, Manchester United prediction, please.
At Selhurst Park.
At Selhurst Park. 5:30 p.m. UK time.
Chee. I'm going to say 2-2.
Self, same question to you.
He stole my scoreline. Whoa.
Whoa.
You know what? Palace haven't started well. Do you know what I mean? I know they took a draw of us, but we should have battered them. And I can't get the image out of my mind of a 37-year-old Jamie Vardy outpacing a 75 million rated defender Mark Gurkey last week. That's one of the things I will never get out of my mind.
See, it wasn't so funny now that he's doing it to fucking grown folk, huh?
Yeah, but
when he did it to Tottenham, it's funny.
Your attack is so crap. I'm gonna go 1-1. I'll go 1-1 tomorrow.
Cool. I'm saying 1-0 Manchester United. Let's go.
Yeah.
GGMU, all that stuff. Hey, what is this? Sunshine, we same team.
Boom, Matata in the room. Boom.
Hey, I'm here to give my prediction as well, man.
Yeah, Palace, Manchester United.
This gonna be an interesting match. Actually, I can't lie, man. Like, this might be worth 1,000 bottles of baby oil, but kind of that.
Was you having Diddy parties, fam? You talking?
He's got Diddy he's got Diddy and what are we doing here?
I
think Jace might be joining Don KJB on that island with Tupac.
Stay your ass inside. That's what Kendrick said.
Nah, what's the called? Nah, like you already know.
That was a fun time, wasn't it? When like it was like when's one of that beef was so fun.
Yeah.
I remember being locked into the playback and we were just like, oh, it dropped. During the fight, was it?
You're doing the NBA. You're doing the NBA playoffs, yeah. But you know what it is, man.
The finals.
Yeah, playoffs.
Playoffs. You know what it is, man. We love you.
I can't wait for the basketball to be back.
Palace win. Actually, no. Palace getting a result, but I don't think they win. So 1-1.
All right. Big up to everyone that's locked in.
The chat, don't worry.
Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Subscribe to United Spurs of America. Make sure you subscribe to Carefree Lewis G as well, both on YouTube. Subscribe to Sarcasm City TV. Hit the notification bell. Run up the likes expeditiously. Jacob, let them know what you got coming up over the weekend. All that good stuff.
Well, first and foremost, if you are watching on United Spurs of America right now, just first of all, big up, you sexy motherfucker. But secondly, make sure you are subscribed to Sarcasm City TV and Carefree Lewis. It's both in the title and in the description. And I posted Flawless Sarcasm City TV link in the chat, so there's no excuse. I mean, if you do come up with an excuse, you'd be worse than me excusing Cuti Romero. But we move. His jersey shines proudly behind me, like it will tomorrow during the watch along that I'll be waking up for. Hosting a little pre-match pump up. I've been doing that this year on We Are Tottenham TV, a big old YouTube Spurs YouTube channel, and Been enjoying that. It's just an excuse to be unashamedly go Tottenham. Very cheerleader, and I get to wake up early and do that, and then I got to watch along on my channel, and then I'll upload a full match reaction at some point in the day, and then hopefully it's a fucking good time. If not, then I'll probably be yelling more like I did today. So again, Flawless, you missed it, but there was a part where I was referring to drowning Cindy Lou Who, the little horse. But no horses actually were drowned. It's just a metaphor. You didn't have the banner up. You left. You didn't put the banner up. I said put the banner up, but you didn't. And then I went on my tangent, and it ended with me drink the water, Cindy, and she wouldn't. And now the horse is dead. But everyone knows go back.
Yeah, it's all well.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, people subscribe to United.
There's something I want to say though. There's something I want to say.
Go on, Jason.
Obviously, it's not little announcement. Things are under work, obviously, from a Twitch, from a content perspective, because I haven't been actually active like that. Mainly because I just don't have the motivation currently to play Football Manager. But obviously, October, trying to bring Dragon Ball Spark Zero to the channel. So I'm just getting a couple of things set up. Hopefully, by the game comes out, I should be fine on the day when it drops, and then I will let you guys know now. I'm probably gonna try also to promote when I'm going live and stuff like that on my Twitter as well. So in the future, probably gonna promote my Twitter as well in case people want to follow, want to know when I go live and that. So yeah.
There you go, people. So make sure you follow Jez's Twitch Hokage Jez Hokage Jez. That's Hokage Jez. Make sure again subscribe to United Spurs of America. And if you are new to Sarcasm City TV, all the live streams you see on the channel, apart from watch-alongs, are available on all audio platforms. So wherever you listen to podcasts, wherever you listen to music, if there's a podcast section, type in Sarcasm City TV and the shows will pop up. So Spotify, iTunes, SoundCloud. So if you have a Spotify account, follow us and 5-star us on there, Sarcasm City TV. All you iPhone users, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, same with SoundCloud. Because you might not want to have the YouTube app open. You might want to hear Jacob on the absolute craziness, but just audio only. You may be moving around. You don't want to be outside with YouTube using up all your data, people. So Spotify, iTunes, SoundCloud. In regards to, I was going to say today, we will be going live on the playback very, very shortly. We'll be running pro clubs in about 5-10 minutes, people. So pro clubs will be on over there. And then the rest of today as well, we'll start multiple watch-alongs. West Ham versus Chelsea will be live from midday. So half an hour before kickoff for that live stream. Then following that 3 p.m. we will be doing the Spurs Brentford game. Keep an eye on Liverpool, Bournemouth, and the rest of the 3 p.m. kickoffs. Then Palace versus Manchester United, which we discussed that watch along. I'll be on the playback and here on the YouTube also as well. And Anthony Joshua's fighting Dubois, so I will be doing a watch along for that. I think it's 10:30 p.m., 11 p.m. ring walk time. So the main event that'll be on the playback, and then following that, the Sarcasm Q&A. Probably
the program begins at 4 p.m. on TNT.
Joshua.
But love to everyone that's locked in. You lot are absolute real ones. Big up to Warrior J says, I don't know if I could do Palace versus United timestamp. Is it still messing up for you? Warrior J, if it is, don't worry about it. Man. If it's still messing up for you. If not,
man. All you need
Warrior
to do.
J, send it to me and I'll do it. If it's not working for you, just DM it to me and then I'll do it. Don't worry about that.
It's a timestamp. There's a timestamp for it. What's the timestamp?
Can't do that.
30 seconds. Flawless introduction. From 35 seconds in, whoa, to the end of the stream.
Yeah, go on.
But by the way, to the person that said, why do I have a P Diddy Avi offload? If you can make it quick, if you can make it very quick. Also, you can't see the full thing, but it says P Diddy declared support for
You should lower it a little bit.
All right, one second.
Cut off more of them. And then...
one second. Let me change it to the donkey.
Because I remember seeing that it showed. He declared his support for Arsenal. That was the article I remember seeing.
Cool. Anyways, we're going to redirect to Lee Gunner because Lee Gunner is live as always. So shout out to Gunner. So make sure you put Sarcasm City TV, Ray. Like I said, live on the playback in 5 to 10 minutes. Get over to the playback, people. Jacob mentioned it. The NBA's returning next month as well. So not only are you getting
Dallas Mavericks, our return is imminent.
League, Europa League watch-alongs over there. Yes, Dallas Mavericks and the rest of the NBA will be doing many NBA watch-alongs over there. NFL, Formula 1, gaming content all over on the Sarcasm City TV playback. So that's playback.tv/Sarcasm City TV, or download the playback app from your app store.
Yo, that last comment's an yo.
Make sure you do so. Yeah, these lot be absolutely wild.
That last comment's an yo.
Big content. Big
they will need all the oil.
Wait. Yes, Sunshine. I'll be on the. That is crazy, yo. Just I hope
Bro, they said P. Diddy had so much oil, U.S. invaded his mansion.
Yes, I'm on the playback. Yes, I'm on the playback tonight, Sunshine. We will be there. Yes, we will be playback people. Anyways, we closing out these fucking jokers. And this is
I mean weapons of mass destruction, not oil. Weapons of mass destruction. Yeah. That's what. Actually, technically, they did find those at P. Diddy's home too. 780, I think it was.
Something crazy.
Yeah.
This has been the Manchester United, Chelsea, Tottenham Hotspur show. Mandem United pod. Ballers at the bridge talking at Tottenham's talk pod.
Oh,
Charlie figure out.